guys, and welcome back to our channel from Two Brown Girls. I'm Isolita.
And I'm Brittany Doris.
And today is another episode of Hit or Miss. So, our favorite person is back in the news again, Kanye West. It's very funny because people have actually done like a challenge with this of like holding your phone right here and like looking at it. Like,
oh my god.
You got names in your phone?
That's hilarious.
So Kanye decided to have a couple of messages for Drake, Tyson Beckfrod, and Nick Cannon. So everyone, if you aren't aware, all three of those men have in common are talking about Kanye West's wife, and he's not here for it
At all. And a part of me, even though you guys know I'm not a big Kanye fan at this moment, but I never really was.
We miss the old Kanye.
We miss the old Kanye. We need the old Kanye. Anywho. But part of me kind of understands his perspective because as a married person, you typically wouldn't want anyone to talk about your spouse, especially a man. You would want them to stand up for their wife, but a part of that you have to understand who your wife is, what industry she works in, how she gets paid, and how she got famous. So all of those elements combined usually would make your wife a target to be in the headlines. And being in the headlines makes her relevant, makes her coin come in. So part of me is just like, all right, once again, here's another Kanye rant. And just because you think that way, you don't need to express every comment, especially when it's speculation.
Right. Like, I think the whole Drake thing is like,
yeah.
Kiki, do you love me? Yes.
There's so many Kikis. And nobody's ever called her Kiki that I know of. Maybe, I don't know.
Her, the little kids, her nieces and nephews call her Kiki.
Oh.
Yeah. So
see, I don't
that's
watch
where
this show.
that's where that came from. So that's how he was like, oh, okay, so it's not saying like if you it's very bad how he said it's like if you were married to Rihanna and I knew a girl named Renita in Chicago and then I made a song called Riri, Do You Love Me? Would you be upset? And I was like, okay, Kanye, that was a stretch.
That was a stretch because like Riri, that's her actual nickname. Kiki is just your little nieces that call you that. Like I don't know. I just think it's just reaching. It's just a stretch. And I'm pretty sure if there was any allegation of Drake messing with Kim, we would have heard about it a long time ago.
Right. I think that I think Tyson Beckfrod and Nick Cannon are like two like separate issues. So Tyson, she came for him. So in the same sense, it was just like a squabble. Like, don't swing if you're not ready to get hit.
Right.
So I feel like that was something like totally separate. Maybe did he take it there? Maybe it was a little too much.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. But with Nick Cannon, he did date Kim Kardashian.
Right.
He knew her before. So I get Kanye's perspective of like, that's my wife now. Yeah, you may have dated her, yada, yada, yada. But it's like how many years later and we're still talking about her and Ray J.
But from what I saw from Nick Cannon interview, his perspective of Kim K was more like a kudos. He's basically saying, from what I saw, that Kim was able to take her family in 10 years to be millionaires, billionaires rather. He's like, she was the stylist for Paris Hilton, and now look at her. And his was more of like a, wow, this is just amazing to see the growth that she's been able to have, not only for herself, but the Kardashian brand in general. So maybe I missed part of the interview.
So the part of the interview that I think Kanye was probably upset about was they talked about Kim and like her potential plastic surgeries that she never claims that she's ever had. So he said that like when they dated, she would say all of these things that she wanted to do. She had an Armenian nose. She didn't love her nose. And he's like, no, like you're super dope. Like love you and you being Armenian, like that's what makes you different. And that's what makes you the beautiful person that you are. You don't need to do all of that.
Right.
But I still don't think that's a knock. She still did it. You're as an adult, you're gonna do what you want to do.
And we can see if we look at the old Kim to now, you don't have to talk about what she did. You can see it. It's not like hidden. We know your butt didn't grow that size overnight and naturally. And we can see the photos of you in a bathing suit to know that they ain't your butt, or your nose, or your hairline, or your breasts, or your waist. Whatever other parts of her body that may not be hers. Like, we know that. We can see it. So I just think the whole Kanye thing, once again, another reason why you should just be mute. Somebody to take his phone. I know he said he's out of the sunken place. I don't believe you.
He's back on social media now. So
yeah.
Then he said that he wants to like make it to where you can't see his follows and his likes and stuff like that, like via social media. He's like, I'm gonna have a conversation with Mark Zuckerberg, and I'm like, who are you?
Right. Although I wouldn't be a fan. I mean, I wouldn't not be a fan of that. Like, I do feel like social media has put a lot of pressure on people to make sure you have your followers and make sure you get a certain amount of likes on your pictures.
Right.
So maybe if we did have a moment where we could just post like our sincere content, pictures of ourselves, and they're not having that pressure. Oh my God, I only got 10 likes in the last 2 hours. Maybe that would make it a little more interesting and less intimidating. Not gonna knock it.
It could make social media more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I think it would probably take away the knock of like you have to look this way as an IG model or do this or do that.
Right.
Just to have followers. And
that could be very interesting, Kanye. We may need to talk about that.
That's the only reason she'll talk about
it. Yeah, that's it. The rest of this crap, slavery wasn't a thing. Still can't really get down with that because I think I heard a fake, I'm not going to say fake, but I heard somewhat of an apology that you posted on Instagram that he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still not Team Kanye, so.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Next topic.
Yeah, but before we move on,
okay.
Where was Kanye walking at? What was that?
Oh, he was in Chicago. He was getting back to his roots.
Yeah, but the train, his face. What was this?
He said, hang on, there's a train about to go by.
I'm like, where are your people?
It was just so much because he literally had the phone like this, and all the celebrities now are doing like how like they drag stuff, and they're like doing like the Kanye West challenge, and so I think it was Lil Duval did one, A1, the producer, like all of them, and they're like walking like this. You don't know where they're walking.
So our announcement video, like on Instagram that we are about to post this, we're gonna do it that way. We're just gonna walk with the phone right here in honor of Kanye. This is the new mode.
You can see all
angle
in your girl.
All of it. Okay. So now we can go on to the second topic, which is the Emmys. Did you watch it?
I was in and out. I watched like the beginning, and then I watched the pre-show or whatever, just to see like the fashion. That was really all I wanted to see.
I didn't. I just watched. I didn't even watch it. I just saw like the looks on Instagram. I'm not a big award show viewer. It gets really boring for me.
Yeah, the Emmys aren't like that great.
Yeah, I'm not into it. I don't know what's been going on, but like I haven't been watching a lot of my shows except for like Insecure, things like that. But like other
Speaking of Insecure, Issa Rae at the award show. So everyone had something to say about Issa Rae. She supposedly got like drugged on Twitter because while Betty White won an award, she was like looking at her phone and not paying attention to the speech, or so it seemed. So there was a clip where she went on a night show.
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon, and she was like, yeah, I just lost. It was probably my family, like in a group chat, just like, encouraging me, telling me I was doing okay. She said the cameraman was shady.
Right. But he was, though. Like, there's so many people in the audience that you could have recorded at that moment. You knew the girl just lost the award. So obviously she's going to be slightly distracted because the anxiety from thinking you're about to win, and then the anxiety of you losing in front of millions of people.
Right.
So it's like, of course she was going to be slightly distracted. And just because Betty White is a legend to everyone else, that may not have been a legend to Issa. So, like, I love Betty White because of the Golden Girls. I don't know any of Betty White's recent acting endeavors. So why is everyone jumping on her for being distracted, especially at that moment? Like, I can see if she was like joking around, laughing with people beside her and talking, but she wasn't like being disrespectful. She just wasn't that engaged as much as people thought. So I'm like, I think people made a big deal out of that.
I think it was a big deal out of nothing. We all look at our phones probably at times we shouldn't.
Exactly. And meetings at work, driving, in church.
We all do it. Yeah, we all do. So I don't think she should have been penalized for it.
I don't think so.
But
Black Twitter or regular Twitter, whatever Twitter was going into her, take a break, relax, because that means if you were tweeting during the show, then you weren't paying attention to somebody else. So
Max,
pipe down.
But like I said, I watched the fashion. So who were some of your favorite looks?
I love Yara, my girl from Grownish and Blackish. She's one look that I saw, and I just love the way her hair was styled. It was like in twists, but put up in a bun, and it had some pieces framing her face and her dress. I just freaking loved her, but literally, I don't think I've seen a look that she's been in that I didn't like on her.
Right, absolutely. I think she's so like, she's still young, so she plays to that factor. She doesn't try to overdo it. She doesn't try to step out of her like age bracket, if you will. But she's very classy.
Yes,
I think that's where it is. I love Yara, like just everything she does.
Yeah, and where is the show Grownish? I haven't heard anything about it.
They started filming it, or at least that's what like her Instagram said.
Great,
because
I'm like, come on, I've been waiting for this.
Right, I love that show.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So I absolutely love Angela Bassett.
Yeah. Okay,
she's 60 years old and slaying,
still killing it.
Auntie, yes.
Goals. I also liked Issa's look. Not to make it the Issa show, but I think I liked her one piece, the fact that it wasn't a dress, and then it had like the skirt or whatever you want to call it around it. I just thought it was unique. I'm not a fan of blue, so that I kind of left. I would have never tried because blue, I think, in my skin complexion doesn't work. But
she did it.
She killed it. Yeah, I love that. It was very different.
Yeah.
So
I also loved Jennifer Lewis.
Yes.
So she had like her bedazzled Nike outfit on in support of Nike and Colin Kaepernick. So she kind of went the other route as opposed to like wearing a ball gown, but she looked great. And I really love that she took that time to represent and to say why she was wearing it. Yeah. And it was just super dope of her.
Yeah. The only kind of comment I got, I know, probably not a popular opinion, was I get the reason behind Nike, loved it, absolutely loved it. But there's other Nike pieces we could have wore, Auntie. And I get you wanted to probably wear the fro to support, but you could have like had it combed a little bit more polished. The tights, I just wasn't a fan of. I think that there's a lot more Nike pieces we could have picked out. So whomever was the stylist who picked that out, I get where you're going, but I feel like the mark was missed a little bit. Like that sweatshirt was really big.
And the tights are really tight.
And the tights are really tight. So don't kill me. Do not kill me, people. But I love the intent. But I think we missed the mark just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just because you're in Nike, you could have still been, your face could have been beat, your hair could have been nice. Like, it was other ways you could have did this.
She said no, she was going all out. She was going all the way.
I am not going all out is what happened. I'm just going to put the sweatshirt on and go is what happened. Okay, next topic, because people are going to be talking about me in the comments.
Also wanted to give a huge shout out to Regina King for winning the Leading Actress Emmy Award in a limited series for 7 seconds. So also wanted to say congratulations to her in this post as well. That was huge for the culture.
So this new little segment within Hit or Miss is called Hot New Shit. So this is about any like hot new topics, trends, shows, anything that we've noticed that's for the culture, by the culture.
Absolutely. So I want to talk about one that I watched recently, which is Finding Nivea. I actually watched it on YouTube, but it's a BET series, and I thought it was really good because we haven't heard from Nivea or heard her story ever. At least I hadn't. And it was really good. It was really just talking about her career and how she started. And she was basically, to give you guys just a quick summary, she started singing when she was like 14. She left her parents' home and kind of just moved around Atlanta between 14 and 18. She got hooked up with this manager who she describes as a con artist because he was pitching her to these executives saying she write her own music. And she was like, I had never wrote a song a day in my life. But everybody joked because she was able to get like $1 million deal out of by using her manager, and she had no like professional singing experience, no writing experience, and then her career just took off. Yeah, like as we saw with Laundromat and the song It's Been So Long. It's been I can't think of the name, but you know the song. Yeah. What it is that you want to see. Yeah, that song. And then like her career just took off, and then she talks about how like her and Wayne started dating and got engaged, and then they broke up, and then her and Dream started working together, and they ended up having a relationship, getting married, having 3 kids, and then her and Wayne reconnected again, and now they have a son. And she was just talking about how like for her, putting her motherhood first was way more important than singing, and she dedicated the rest of her time to her kids and just being there, because she was like, my baby daddies can't go to parent-teacher conferences and do all this and all that. But now she's getting back into the music because her kids are a little bit older now and a lot more self-sufficient, and it was her story. So the story overall was really good. There were moments of it I was like, wow. Like I hadn't realized that. And also like as she was speaking, there were some things that I was like, wow, you were really from like the projects. Like as she was, you know, doing her songs back in the day, I don't think I recall her being so rough and so urban.
I don't really remember, like I don't remember like her interviews and stuff at that time.
Yeah.
I only saw a clip of the show, and it was like she was saying that she was pop R&B, so she was like with colored hair,
black Britney Spears.
Yeah.
And I guess that's how they wanted to market her,
right?
Which is probably why we didn't see the interviews and
right,
things
probably.
like that. Because if the moment she started speaking, you would have known she's not the black Britney Spears. And so it was just interesting. Also, one thing that I know I noticed, you noticed, and you know, Black Twitter and Instagram noticed was the way that she held her mouth would allude to there being maybe a stroke or drug use. Not sure. This is all just our opinions and what we saw online. But she often her mouth would shift.
Yeah.
And I have a crooked mouth. I have a crooked smile where my lips are like not aligned, so I can get that. But it was something that was definitely like noticed, and I thought she may have mentioned that because it was so different.
Yeah. I don't know if she. I was just like scrolling through the comments of like, because you know people can say very mean things, so just trying to figure out. I was like, why is her mouth like that? Like, even though I never saw her interviews, but like even her singing, it wasn't like that. So I just, you know, wanted to know why.
Yeah, curious.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hoping that it was something like medically induced and something that she has overcame and has moved on from, because it would be really devastating to know like she's been dealing with any substance. But the way she was so passionate about her time with her children, I highly doubt that, because she made it very clear, like, my children are my life. Those are my goals. So I would doubt that she would even have got into that.
Is this going to be like a whole series, or is it just like a docu-series, like a little docu-series that they're doing?
Yeah, so I think it's a docu-series that they're doing. I tried to look and see like where else, like where's this Finding series, since it was called like Finding Nivea. I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of other. I'm not sure if this was just a one-time thing or a series. I'm hoping it's a series because it was really good. I got to, you know, get a little bit more insight into Nivea, so I'm sure any other artists they would, you know, review, we would have that same feeling.
Since it's on YouTube, we'll post a link below. Just if you guys want to check it out, you can.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So the other hot new shit that came out was Nappily Ever After with Sanaa Lathan and Lynn Whitfield. It is a Netflix original, which was actually, or stemmed from a book that was written called Nappily Ever After. So, synopsis of it is really good.
Yeah, don't tell because I haven't watched
everything. But it's just about how like we all try to portray this perfect life, and we try to live up to the expectation of others when we sometimes don't live up to the expectations of ourselves. And how you have to ultimately find yourself as opposed to trying to live for other people. So
big facts.
I'll leave it very broad.
Yeah, and I mean we do. If you've seen like the commercials and things like that, you kind of have not commercials or whatever, just even
like the previews.
Yeah, like you kind of see how it is, and I just love how they were able to say like, you know, Black women, we all like. Our hair is our crown, and whenever you've seen the post, whenever somebody goes through something, they cut their hair, they dye their hair, and I am that person. I have done 3 big chops whenever I felt like I needed to get rid of something. My hair is the first thing to go, and I'm not sure if this movie gets into that, but whether is what we're hiding emotionally is the reason for that, and what can we do to fix whatever is happening there so we don't have to cut off our hair. But listen, I'm not cutting my hair off no more.
I was about to say, so would you?
No, absolutely not. I am absolutely done with that phase. I will have to dye it, straighten it, something, but cutting it off, I can't do.
It's just cool too, because I think you're onto something. Like whenever you go through something, they always say, watch a woman that changes her hair. Like, I think that's like how we go through things.
Yep.
And like you see it on the previews, like she shaves her entire head off. Like, and Sanaya really like committed to this role.
Yes.
Like, baby shaved all her hair.
No,
off.
but even before that, she dyed her hair blonde in real life. And we were like, okay, she's trying something new. And then she shaved it off. And we were like, oh, but didn't realize
the blonde was cute.
I loved her with a
Blonde was cute. I loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, she really committed, and I think like I love Sanaa Lathan like as an actress. So I even think like she just really committed to this role, and she just like portrayed Violet is the name of the character. Like I think as best that she could, and I think it's gonna be a really good Netflix like
is it a series or a movie?
Just a movie.
Okay.
Just a movie. Yeah. But it was really good. So if you haven't watched it, go on Netflix and make sure you watch that.
It's on my list to do this weekend, so I will watch it hopefully tonight, and hopefully it's as good as you said it is.
It's good.
But I've heard good reviews, so I know it's good.
Yeah, it is. So guys, we hope you like that new segment of Hot New Shit. We'll add this into our hit or miss every time we do it. Let us know if there's anything that you would like for us to review or like for us to talk about within this new segment.
Yep.
And we hope that you enjoyed this video.
Absolutely. So you know what we're gonna say. Please comment, like, subscribe. The little bell is somewhere at the bottom of this video, so click it so you can be up to date on all of our posts. And we always post every Sunday and every Wednesday, so come to our channel on those days and you'll see a hot new video.
And be sure to share with your friends as well.
Always.
There's a little share button down here as well, so we make it easy for you.
Yes.
Easy.
Absolutely. Well, you know what we're gonna say. Until next time, bye guys.